I know I've definitely praised this before, but I definitely want to praise it again just because it's one of my favorite things that they do in this game. And it's such a small thing, but it makes it feel so alive. I talk about making worlds feel alive. I think it's so important to get immersed in the game. You don't have to have a game that's hyper-realistic to the point that it's like, one-to-one real life, but there's little things you can do to make the world feel very lived in. And I think just having like characters that are like named NPC banner characters on the map sometimes is a really cool thing. It's a really cool thing. Like having, Treeby here, having Trinan here. You know what I mean? It's a small thing. It's a really super small thing. I think Hyacinth's over here as well. I think if you go down to other areas, you can find other characters too. It's such a simple and small thing, but it makes a big difference in making the world feel alive. I always say I love in video games when it feels like the world keeps turning even though you're not doing something. Now, I love games as well where, like, they're, it also, like, feels like, you are the most important thing in the world as well. Obviously, we are, like, kind of like a chosen one type of character in a way, being, like, the person who has a Stellar inside of us. But it never feels like the world is just, like, made just for us, and I love that idea in Honkai Star Rail. When I'm, off on another planet farming, it makes me feel like, because this world is kind of presented so well, it does feel like, in a way, that, when I'm doing farming, Sela in Belobog is, having her dinner. You know what I mean? It's like the world keeps turning. It makes me feel that way in a way. They're still doing stuff even when we're not, like, around. By the way, hello, baby gangsters. This is Calvin, also known as Wormer, and this is my first ever playthrough of Honkai Star Rail. Let's go up and check the next part of this mission. We're out to do Act 3. Act 2 was great, and Act 1 has been great. In terms of my thoughts on the act so far, because I feel like I didn't, like, summarize it in fully, I would say that, like, Act 1 was like a fantastic introduction to this world. Act 2 was like a really gut punch. It was an absolute gut punch to the whole act. But it was like actually like I'm surprised like how fast this feels. Like we're going through this. We've been playing this now for a little. I'd say around. I want to say just like 2 months maybe, and we've gotten through 2 acts right so far. And I will say that I really feel like the pacing is, and maybe it's just because I'm taking my time and I'm taking it bit by bit. I haven't felt like it's been like dragging on at all. I haven't felt like it's too long. It just feels like a really fun world to explore. And especially Act 2 there had like really great pacing. And I feel like, by the end of it, like one of the things they did really well with both acts is that they ask a lot of questions. They answer a lot of stuff and they give you a lot of new information, really cool stuff, but then they also ask you questions then afterwards that make you want to play the game more. Who is this? Why is this happening? What happened with this? What's going to happen with this person? Like all these questions. And at the end of Act 2, we had like that exactly. What's going to happen with March? What's happening with Anaxagoras? So many like really cool questions. Like what's going to happen with the council? Like that leaves you intrigued and makes you want to play more, right? And even though we play more, even if they didn't ask those questions, I still think it's a really good thing that they like care about like intriguing you, I think Honkai Star Rail, as I said, like will give you. Oh, we're going back up to this. Oh no, the shrine. Yeah, Honkai Star Rail gives you like really a lot of great answers, but then we'll ask you 10 more questions, and I appreciate that. I really do. This is the quest, right?
Trebios's memory has unveiled the very first prophecy. All shall bid farewell to one, and that person alone will witness the miracle. Such is the will of fate.
So this is the very first prophecy, because there's lots of prophecies, right, that people get. Like there's obviously the prophecy of Genesis and stuff like this too, but I feel like a lot of people get individual prophecies. Would you call them prophecies? Like you're gonna get stabbed in the back. This is like that type of thing.
If I take on Oronyx's trial, will the prophecy come to pass for me as well?
It's super interesting, right? Putting Stelle in this position, but it's also again very intriguing.
Regardless, I must give Aglaya an answer.
Mm-hmm. And as someone pointed out in the last one, it is one of those things where like, there's so much information in Amphoreus gets thrown at you. But I don't think it's a bad thing.
I finished the anthology of poems you lent me. Here it is.
And someone also pointed out in the last one that like a lot of people will have the advantage of waiting 6 weeks or 4 weeks in between each update and getting to, be a part of the community and talk about all this stuff. But what I have an advantage of, I feel like, is I got you guys. You know what I mean? So I got a little bit of advantage too, 100%.
I thought you'd be too preoccupied to find time for reading.
I love Castor so much.
Precisely because of these obligations, I felt compelled to read it swiftly.
Wouldn't all these preoccupations slow your pace?
On the contrary, knowing that time is limited can push one to overcome their limitations.
Interesting.
The weight of these responsibilities seems to have enhanced my reading efficiency.
If I can say that this is a thing from, I'm not saying, again, I know sometimes I have to always say it, I'm not saying this is me for real, but like I remember like in college, if I had to like write an essay, like if you had limited time, that essay is coming out, you know, come hell or high water. You know what I mean? All of a sudden I become the fastest typer in the world.
I understand completely. During my time at the Grove, the closer exams drew, the more efficient I became at tackling everyday mundane tasks. Anything but my actual studies.
So Castor's is saying that like when the exams came closer, she became better at like doing other stuff. Maybe it's like procrastination in a way.
Precisely.
So maybe I got that wrong. Maybe I missed the idea of that. Oh, is it just saying that like because knowing that like there is a limited time to do all this stuff that like it actually makes her just kind of like, you know, better and more efficient at like doing like everything, even the side stuff? Is that what we're saying here? Which I guess would make sense, I guess, if you know that like there is like, you know, you don't have all the time in the world, I guess.
As I remember, you and Phainon were both disciples of the new Sporists. I assume that Anaxa's exams were as unreasonable as the man himself, correct?
And as pretty as his little face.
The courses Professor Anaxa taught were Introduction to Alchemy and History of Mythology. And to be perfectly honest, those two courses were the students' greatest nightmares.
Anaxagoras gives the vibe of the professor that like everyone dreads like interacting with, but they know that taking his classes is going to be really, really helpful, you know?
The history of mythology taught by the blasphemous great performer himself. I can imagine their fear.
Isn't that because he doesn't really adhere to all like the prophecies and stuff, I guess, too, and things like this? Like, I think it's actually like one of the best people that like, because sometimes you'll find that too, like the people who are most interested in, like I know like people I know who are the most interested in like ghosts and spirits and all this stuff too, you'll find out that they don't believe in ghosts. They just love the idea of it, you know?
Now that I think about it, students would often rush to the podium during class to challenge him on those blasphemous ideas.
That's awesome though, right? That type of like conversation during that class is probably great.
May I ask, Lady Aglaya, has your relationship with Professor Anaxa always been like this?
And the reason I say it's great is not because like debate is fun, because I think the majority of debates now are just amount to two people just arguing and then nothing ever changes. But I do think that like if you have a topic like anything, like if you discuss like art or English or a book or whatever, you're going to remember more if you're discussing it with someone else rather than just like writing it down yourself. I feel like, you know, you're going to remember an argument you had about like, you know, your thesis on the bear, you know, rather than just talking about it yourself.
Faith and questions the very justification of the flame chase journey. Our positions have been destined to be at odds.
True.
While you were studying there, I assume you must have heard of his nickname.
So yeah, he definitely poses the flame chase journey, but I think it just makes him such an interesting character. Like it's like dropping a flamed match into like a I don't know, a bunch of oil.
A droma straight in finery?
As I see it, this nickname is more of an insult to the drummers.
She really does not. They really have this like bickering relationship.
Despite his insufferable arrogance, I do hold a certain respect for his nature as a scholar.
I can tell.
To remain true to his principles, he is unafraid to stand opposed to the world, and that requires considerable resolve.
Yep. You can tell they respect each other, because even like Anaxagoras like said before, like, you know, don't think that Aglaya is unfair. He doesn't see her as like unfair, you know.
Anaxagoras' life is almost like a satire. As a Chrysos heir, he refuses to heed the prophecy, while he disrespects the gods.
The gods have chosen him.
Yeah.
He was indeed chosen by Circes.
I think Anaxagoras is one of the most interesting characters in the game.
Is something weighing on you, Cass? The golden thread is quivering. I sense there's more to this exchange than idle chatter.
It's interesting she can pick up on that, right?
With all due respect, I'd like to know what you plan to do with him. In light of his assistance in the battle against the Flame Reaver, I am willing to grant him some time to find a way to remove the core.
So she wants him to get to remove it. She's not going to... Because again, maybe it's just because he doesn't believe in the Flame Chase journey. She needs someone who does, I guess.
However, if Anaxa decides to make any move that places us in danger, I will not hesitate to take extreme measures.
Interesting. Because the thing is, like, if Anaxagoras did help on the Flame Chase journey, he would be so useful, I could tell. But obviously, like, Aglaia is probably worried here about someone who doesn't believe in the journey, you know?
Just as I feared. The Flame Chase journey is the destined path for the Chrysos heirs. Yet he now seems more like an empty shell. Given his strong sense of self-respect, I trust that Anaxagoras will make the right decision.
And it's also interesting, the reason why Aglaia is such an interesting character too is because she will do anything for Amphoreus. She is willing to do anything for Amphoreus, 110%, but she's not a cruel person. She's not someone who is brutal or like someone who you, like, I don't look up to. You understand why people look up to her. So when she says, like, I will take extreme measures, it's one of those things where, like, she could be saying this, like, totally 100% factually true that she will take extreme measures in a very extreme way. But also, I think she also uses the idea of, like, a threat to put people in line as well. And it's not because, again, I don't think she's a bad person. I don't think she's brutal. I don't think she's someone who's, like, evil. But I do think that, like, in this situation, she... Especially what just happened with Trian, right? It's like we just lost Trian. You know what I mean? Maidemos has gone to the front lines. Like, there is considerable weight and pain that comes along with being a Chrysos heir. We talked about it last time. There is, like, death, there is pain, there is suffering. It's a lonely journey in some ways, even though you have everyone around you. She knows this. She knows how tough this journey can be. So to have someone on the team that doesn't generally believe with this or align with the same beliefs, she probably would see it as kind of a little bit, like, dangerous, right?
Still, I can't help but hope for another possibility.
Yeah? Castor's design is so pretty, isn't it?
Perhaps Anaxa will also overcome his limitations, now that he knows time is limited.
Time being limited, man.
I understand your stance. Let's continue this discussion another time. But now, let's greet our guest.
Is it us?
You're
Yes.
here.
Yeah, I want to say Anaxagoras is one of the most interesting characters in the world. He is. He's just, like, one of the most interesting characters. And, like, I think that having such a variety of Chrysos heirs has made the Chrysos heirs, you know, as a concept be already really cool, but then, like, makes them, you know, individually all very interesting, you know? And having a Chrysos heir who, like, has a core flame in him, who, like, just doesn't believe, like, in the prophecies the same way other people do, is just an interesting character almost instantly. It's like having a priest who doesn't believe in God. It's a really interesting idea, you know? I like it. I like it a lot.
Does this mean you're ready to take on Oronyx's trial?
We are ready, Mem and me.
It seems that this sacred beast is just as indispensable, given their intricate ties to the Titan.
Memmy mem, memmy mem 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 mem, memmy mem memmy mem.
From a dog into a sacred beast. Someone pat her belly right now, I swear to God. If they don't pat her belly once in this whole playthrough, I do think I have to give Honkai Star Rail a 2 out of 10, guys. I'm sorry. You guys understand. That's just basic critique.
Surrendering the core flame is a Chrysos heir's duty. Your selfless assistance is deeply appreciated. However, I urge you to carefully consider the risks of accepting the trial. Becoming a demigod means forsaking your humanity. You will inherit Oronyx's divinity and bear the time of Amphoreus, all on your own.
So crazy, isn't it? When you really think about it? Like, Stella's a demigod. And, like, here's the thing, Stella's already been, like, you know, the container of the Stellaron. She's been an important character, as you said. But a demigod, you know? And, like, it's so, you know, I love what Don Hong said last time about the idea that this is kind of like the path of a trailblazer. We all have to pick our own paths. It's one of those things where, yeah, Himiko and Welt might be like, hey, you probably shouldn't do this. But at the end of the day, they would support Stella as well. It's full, this is the path of a trailblazer.
From that point onward, your fate will be forever intertwined with ours. never to be separated again, until the end of Genesis.
Are you trying to talk me out of it? I think that she is 100% trying to give us the weight of this situation, because I think while she would love Stelle to be the Chrysos heir that takes his core flame, she also understands that having someone who is half in and half out is not what she wants for for Amphoreus. So telling us the dangers of this is very, very good, you know?
On the contrary, you are the only one who qualifies to attain divinity. Yet, for that very reason, I do not wish to pressure you.
And we saw that with Finon and Midamos. She didn't really want to put pressure on them, but she had an idea of what she wanted, right?
It's exceedingly rare to find a capable Chrysos heir. If this path proves unattainable, I am willing to lower my expectations.
Okay.
There are still many priests of Yanisopolis and their descendants in the city. If I'm left with no other option, I'll try to find someone worthy among them.
Seems like a shot in the dark. If I do not descend to hell, who will? Alright, that's an amount. Honestly, like, it's very Stelle, but I'm gonna say, like, seems like a shot in the dark. What kind of facilities bear the risk? Yeah, that's the thing, like, I support Stelle in this journey, even though, like, for me, like, I wouldn't, you know, I don't know if I'd personally, you know, do something like this. It's hard, you know, because again, right now as players, we can be like, yeah, like, let's be the hero. It's terrifying. We have to understand the weight of this whole situation. It's a terrifying idea. Because I think sometimes as playing a video game, we can, like, separate ourselves from that, but that's not how it works. Like, we have to understand how hard this decision is.
Hero.
Hero? The way him says hero. The Time Titan has taken interest in us, I think. Okay, like timid like a child. Interesting. So they think Oronyx is like timid like a child.
It looks like you know that Titan rather well.
Oh. So she was able to obtain all those memories just by seeing Stelle and memories of Oronyx?
Memories that exist outside of your own experiences.
I can't explain why, but I can vouch for Mem's words. When I was in the abyss, I heard the Titan's groans, full of pain and grievances, yet without any ill will.
Yeah, I agree with this so much, actually. When we went through Oronyx's trial, I really genuinely felt like what was happening there was a pain, a sadness, a warning, rather than being bad to us, you know?
Since you've made your decision, go back to the bath chamber and get some rest. Trinem will call for you when the ceremony is ready.
Sure.
It is difficult for me, as the guide, to absolve myself from blame for things to have progressed to this point. Time and again, you have risen to the occasion for Okhema. Merely rewarding you with some honeydew is no longer able to express the extent of our gratitude.
I love it. Like, because it's so true. Like, we can deny it all we want, and I do the same thing for any game. Like, you know, I think being humble and being like, our character didn't do much, but if you just look at it from a perspective, like, Stelle and Dan Hong have done a lot for this place already.
When the dust settles, I hope that we'll have the chance to have a long chat regarding your return journey and the curse of the sky. It's about time that we lift the taboo and discuss things openly.
Yeah, because we want to see our friends again.
Before leaving, I should go and say hi to Castris.
Don't have to tell me twice. Yeah, like, such a great conversation there, not only to have, like, a perspective on Anaxagoras and what Aglaia wants for that, but also, like, her perspective on us, and openly telling us how difficult this journey is going to be, because honestly, it will be very difficult. I think that it's so easy, as I said, for video game players to get caught up in the idea of just like, yeah, let's jump off this and grab onto the pipe and swing around and do all this stuff. But it's like, have we ever stopped to think how hard this is for Lara Croft to do that? You know, it's difficult, you know? But I think it's important for characters sometimes to stop us as players and be like, this is tough. This is a tough decision you're going to make. and it's going to be something that affects the rest of your life. And Aglaya is doing it for two reasons. I think she does have a care for Stelle. I think she already appreciates Stelle and Dan Heng. I think she thinks of them as really highly. But also, like logistically, as I said, she doesn't want someone half in, half out. She doesn't want someone with the core flame in there who's going to like then run away, you know, halfway through because they get too scared of it. Understandably would get scared of it, but she doesn't need that. She doesn't want that. She would rather have someone who is not as capable but is more dedicated than having someone who is incredibly capable but half dedicated. And that makes sense. That makes so much sense. I do also love her saying, like, you know, the big thank you to us as well, 110%. I can't help but think at the back of my mind, I want to like see what's happening with March. Like, I keep thinking about it, guys, and the stuff with Anaxagoras being dead and all this stuff. I'm like, I hope it doesn't seem like I'm saying like, oh, this stuff is a really, I love talking about this stuff. As you can see, I'll talk about this stuff forever. I'll yap about it forever. But I think the game has done a fantastic job of always like keeping those fears and those dramatic moments in the back of your mind, intentionally so you always have this kind of anxiety about things going on in Amphoreus.
Miss, may everything go well for you and Mem.
Casterus, I adore you. You need a guide for something too?
It's nothing. I only came to discuss some matters with Lady Aglaya.
Sure.
Previously, I lent her an anthology of poems that Lady Trianne had gifted to me. Tracing back, this anthology was something left for Lady Trianne by a bard before their passing.
Oh, okay.
Although personal properties should be cleared out once their owner has passed on, Lady Trianne gave this book to me since she knew how much I like to read.
Man, she just cared about people so much as well. Can you tell me more about the book?
It just contains an allegory. In a faraway land, in a city known as Styxia, a dragon corrupted by the black tide descended one day, swooping upon the city like death itself.
Corrupted dragons is always a really beautiful and terrifying and sad part of fantasy stories.
It swallowed the princess of the city whole before it was suppressed. After taking down the evil dragon, the warriors discovered that the princess's life had already met its end.
Oh, wow.
Overwhelmed by grief, the queen hired an alchemist to resurrect the princess using the dragon's flesh and blood. However, having lost memories of her previous life, the resurrected princess turned into an evil dragon herself and wreaked havoc on the city. As a result, the prosperous Styxia met its demise.
This is an insane story. Like the idea that they used a dragon's flesh and blood to resurrect a princess? That went from fantasy to dark fantasy very, very quickly. And because she didn't have her memories of her past life, she obviously took on the blood of a dragon. Crazy story. I mean, sometimes you're so true, man. Sometimes Casterus is saying stuff that I'm like, I don't know how you're saying this so calmly.
The author of this book is Okhema, a wandering bard who traveled to many cities. Among the things she left behind are poems, dictionaries, and many tragicomedy scripts. She even clearly underlined and took notes in books that covered myths with her elegant handwriting. While flipping through these books, I felt like I was afforded a glimpse into the life of Okhema.
Very cool. That's what you want from a bard, right?
It felt just like I was traveling with someone that I'd never met before.
No, that's what you want. That's the type of story you want to be told, right?
It was as if she had yet to pass on and was still alive.
Yeah, amazing. Absolutely amazing. No one goes through life without leaving their mark behind. 100%. Yeah, and it's about like the weight of your footsteps. We talked about this before, right? In Penacony, it's about the weight of your footsteps as well, right?
That's right. Writing, drawing, and taking photographs. It seems like human nature to try and leave records of things. Speaking of taking photographs, when I was helping you to take the photo previously, I did not look through the photos in your photo stone out of courtesy.
Sure.
But I'm also very curious about the story of the rosy celestial maiden.
Wait, is that March? Yeah, it's March, isn't it?
Despite having visited many cities in Amphoreus, I still understand nothing about the world beyond the sky. If there is an opportunity...
I mean, it makes sense you'd be curious. Honestly, like, if I told you about stories about March, you would, like, literally get cavities of how sweet they are.
forget it.
No.
Let's talk about this in the future.
No, please.
For now, I only hope that you'll be able to complete the trial safely and obtain Oronyx's blessing.
Sure, but like literally, if there's an opportunity to talk about March, I'll do it.
I don't think there's
You know what I
anything
mean?
else to do here. Time to go back and talk to Don Hung.
Don't have to tell me twice again. I'll go back to talking to Mark to talk to Don Hung. Yeah, like it makes sense that she would be so interested in the outside. They talked about I think that maybe, I wonder, like with the story of the princess and the corrupted princess and the dragon and all this stuff too, I wonder how that's going to relate to the story. Because while like some things don't relate to the story all the time, but they made the point to like say the story to us plainly, right? So it most, again, I'm using a bad example here, but Honkai Star Rail, they'll do a thing where it's like, you know, the buzzy bee, the story of the buzzy bee that buzzed around but in the end lost all their honey, you know? And what happens with Honkai Star Rail then is that usually eventually, let's say if it is about a story about a buzzy bee that lost all their honey, all of a sudden like one of the characters in the game, like 10 hours from now, in a very like well-written way, will lose all their money. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, they're the buzzy bee, you know, like, I hope I'm not making it sound like it's trivial. It's actually really well written the way they do it, the way they will do something like that, where they'll have like a story about like, you know, someone losing their you know, hat, right? And they'll relate it to the idea of like someone losing their facade or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's something like that. And I think Honkai Star was really good at like relating whatever they say back to like, you know, stuff that happens in the future. So in some way, I do think that whole stuff with the bard is probably going to come up in some way again, whether it be like spiritually for her or it's going to relate to another story we hear later on. All I know is that we like have the story, like she also talked about the idea of Styx, which is like, again, a Styxy or Styx. I think it is like the idea of like the road to death. And also we do know there was a cliffhanger to do with us dying in some way. So like, I don't know, there's something to do with Casters this chapter for sure, I'd say, you know, for sure. Let's go talk to the prettiest man who ever lived, otherwise known as Don Hung. Two boys in here? This can't be. This cannot be.
Citizens Assembly?
A citizens assembly?
That's right. Oh, partner, you're back just in time.
Partner is so nice.
This is something that the both of you should probably know.
I love him saying partner. Some good news?
Good news? I wouldn't call it that.
Do you remember the Council of Elders that was on our heels previously?
Yep.
It seems like they've made their move.
Yeah, that was one of the cliffhangers last time. They suck. The Council of Sucky People.
Some background information for you. The Council of Elders is an authoritative body in Amphoreus, made up of different city representatives. They hold legislative power over the Holy City, and are in charge of presiding over the Citizens' Assembly held once every few years.
And they're probably going to use this in some way to gain power?
This is the most important social event of Okhema. It is highly influential, and can even affect what happens to the Flame Chase journey.
Yeah, and I'm guessing that this is going to be the way how they use to like to go against Aglaya. So Aglaya doesn't actually call the shots. I think she has the power, but my perception was that it's kind of like the same way, like a government body will like be able to try and intervene with the president in a way, in some way maybe.
Despite her vision and wisdom that spans across thousands of years, even she cannot win over the hearts of everyone.
Yeah. I've never once passed my sociology class.
Perhaps you should retake some exams next time we visit Paperfold University.
I would kill for another university tie. That was so fun. Tell me more about the Citizens Assembly?
Every 5 to 10 years, the Council of Elders organizes a Citizens' Assembly at Dawncloud. During the assembly, the representatives will vote on major issues, such as whether the Chrysos heirs led by Aglaya should still hold the right to govern the Holy City, and whether the Titan's conquest should
There we
continue.
go. It's like, again, I have a feeling this is what they're going to do. Obviously, this is what they're going to do to try and, like, go against Aglaya.
It sounds like some sort of system to balance the heroes and the mortals.
That is correct. However, the problem lies in the fact that there are ill-intentioned extremists
That's the issue.
in the Council of Elders.
That's the issue.
They view the Citizens' Assembly as a way to restrain the Chrysos heirs and hope to take complete control over the Flame Chase journey.
This is the thing. It should be used as a way to amplify the voices of the people in Amphoreus and give them the real information, but it's going to be instead used as a way to in my opinion, to progress a personal agenda.
We can refer to them as the opposition. During the assemblies held in the past 100 years, the voices supporting the opposition have been growing stronger in the shadows. It's only thanks to Aglaya that the Flame Chase journey has been able to continue to this day.
Right, okay. Yeah, I think it's just the wrong way to use a government body, right?
The Citizens' Assembly is just around the corner. But this time, there seems to be a new variable to the situation.
What's that? Anaxa? Do you think it could be Anaxa?
It looks like you've realized it as well.
Right, so is it because Anaxa is opposed to the Flame Chase journey?
I'm afraid that the Council of Elders might want to take advantage of Professor
Yeah,
Anaxa.
like that's what I was thinking. Maybe it's because he does have he's a Chrysos heir who has the core flame, who is against the idea of the Flame Chase journey.
Aglaya will surely take back Circe's core flame, but with Anaxa's current condition, it's so unique that nobody knows how taking the core flame away from him.
So they might hurt
He's
Anaxagoras.
always been someone that is only concerned about his own research. I'm certain that he must want to escape from the monitoring of the Golden Thread and protect himself. If the opposition were to offer an olive branch at this time.
So there's a worry that he might take an offer from the council.
You suspect that he might betray the Flame Chase journey and defect toward the Council of Elders?
Interesting worry, right?
Anaxa has never believed in the prophecy, so technically it cannot be considered a betrayal.
I agree.
However, he has taught many Chrysos heirs, and has long been considered an important ally of Okhema. I truly do not wish to see comrades turning on one another.
Yeah, and the problem is, I think Anaxagoras could see through the Council of Elders so easily, but also at the same time, too, there is a worry because he does have self-interested tendencies, you know?
I have a better understanding of the full picture now. Is there anything that we can do?
As I believe in his character, I plan to plead with Aglaya and try to buy more time for him. Then, the greatest way in which you can help is for you to know what I am fighting for.
We understand. Thank you for being honest with us.
Yeah, 100%.
Things are piling up again. You and Mem are tied up with Oronyx's trial, while I'm preparing to visit the Grove to uncover clues about the world beyond the sky.
Let's just take things one step at a time. I want to rest right now. None of these things seem like they're going to be easy to deal with. Yeah, I think it's a good thing to say. Let's take it one step at a time.
Allow me to apologize for the fact that we always seem to be troubling you.
Stop it.
That Oronyx will show more benevolence and be more accommodating.
Sure.
I remember that they seemed quite fond of you back in the Abyss.
True. And I'm not saying stop it as in like you shouldn't be saying this. It's very sweet that they constantly are worrying about Stelle. They've grown to really grow attached to her. But I always say 1,000 thank yous one thank you's worth 1,000 sorries, you know? I'm not saying just say thank you. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like it's okay. Like I've grown to care so much about people. And I know Stella as well in this place.
Go and rest and regain your strength. We'll meet at the Vortex in a few days. Oh, right. You can read this scroll if you want to find out more about the Council of Elders and the Citizens' Assembly.
I gotta read books now? What the hell?
I don't want to be a
I gotta read books?
Okay, let's do it. Democratic politics is always fascinated. I'm joking, by the way. Democratic politics has always fascinated citizens of different city-states in Amphoreus. When Okhema was first established, its democracy was limited to a privileged minority. However, through ongoing reforms, the Okhema Citizens' Assembly took to the stage, transferring Okhema's governance into a democracy for all, where all the Citizens' Assembly were made every major decision. I think democracy was like invented by Greece in a way, right? And it's important to note that the black tide draws near and citizens from other city-states join Okhema's political circle. The precious rights for Okhema's original citizens are becoming increasingly diluted. Consequently, voices calling for reforms within the Okhema Citizens' Assembly system grow even louder. So they're saying that because Okhema now it has other people joining, they're saying the rights of Okhema citizens are becoming diluted. But here's my take, right? Always. Rights for people and things that are healthy for people and things that are like, you know, basic stuff that like will help people can help everyone, right? Because I know that like the Kremnoans had a hard time integrating into the world here, but I don't know. And I think that this happens in most universes, right? Like, and to me, like I think, you know, with especially with everything that's happening right now, like in such a big crisis, accepting people into your world is like the best thing you can do here. Especially since it leads to people being safer and less deaths and massive contributions to your society and your culture and the melding of cultures, which is really cool. Yeah. But I think that what Honkai Star was doing here is like, once again, being very true of what happens in this world and in the universe is like they have this kind of melding of like, you know, people coming in from, you know, war-torn areas, and now people are like, you know, revolting against this. It happens, right? In the real world. Democracy is the only one of the consequences of civilization development, rather the cause of development. For democracy to be productive, it must enact different rules in different societies, situations, and issues. No single rule can be optimal for all scenarios. Some can. I think they can. I think some rules definitely can. In democracy, can be really optimal for everybody. I don't agree with that personally. In other words, Okhema citizens' assembly systems will continue to evolve as the book is written. Due to time, like for example, to give an example, like the idea in Ireland before a certain time, women had to be 30 years old before they could vote. Changing that vote as a blanket thing to being that they're the same age as men is a net positive for the entire world. You know what I mean? It's for all societies. You know what I mean? Letting women vote is a net positive for all societies. It just is. So that's what I'm saying. In other words, the Okhema Citizens Assembly will continue to evolve as this book is written. Due to time limitations, this publication focuses only on the current Okheman citizens. Assembly, not its future developments. Readers should bear limitations in mind. So it's only going to be focusing on what's happening current, not what's happening in the future. Okay, so this is citizenship and citizenship policies of Okhema. Before examining the Okheman Citizens Assembly operational mechanisms and core functions in depth, we must address the matter of citizenship rights and citizenship policies in Okhema, okay? The others have once noted that Okhema is a collective of free citizens. Due to the substantial power citizens possess, citizenship qualifications must be strictly regulated to ensure citizens' rights. So what do you mean by this? Discussions on recognitions of naturalized citizens' rights were once a foci of disputations between the leaders in the crisis heirs and the Council of Elders. As more Amphorean city-states fell over time, as the Black Tide drew closer, citizenship rights reforms became imperative. Judging from the final outcome, citizens from all city-states have equal citizenship rights in the Holy City and can have equal participation in public matters. This is a good thing, right? This part here, the idea that, like, because of what's happening in the world, and it affects the whole world, and all these people who are living here effectively. This is how I'm getting it, right? They're saying that everyone has the same rights in terms of their say in the public matters. That is a good thing, right? I mean, I'm getting that. Please correct me if I'm wrong. To me, it is saying that, like, I got a bit worried when they started being like, we have to focus on, like, you know, the naturalized citizens' rights and the Okhema citizens first. But, like, then it's like saying that, like, you know, because of what's happening, 110% all people, because, like, obviously, like, you know, if you're living in Ireland, like, I don't like, obviously people who are living in England shouldn't get to vote on our policies, right? That's a fact, right? But if there was people who came over from, like, war-torn places and people who came over here and you know, moved here and all this stuff too, they should obviously get a say if they live here and they you know, whether it's under duress, whether it's from fleeing, you know, some dangerous situation or anything, even if it's just moving here because they want to move to Ireland. Like, if, you know, you should get a say, I feel like, in the going-ons of where you live, I think, you know. I think so anyway. Yeah. While social differences naturally exist between rich and poor, local and travelers, the Holy City of Okhema will not allow these social distinctions to become political divisions and will ensure a complete political equality amongst all citizens. Good. 100% good. Operational mechanisms of Citizens Assembly. Barring emergencies, Okhema Citizens Assembly follows strict protocols when it's called. The current Council of Elders is a government entity made up of representatives of old farts and the city-states, and posts the upcoming Citizens' Assembly agenda and venue, usually John-Claude in the Holy City, at the Wall of Heroes before every meeting. Usually topics are proposed by the Council of Elders, I'm sure they are. Members before the Assembly become official Assembly items after receiving the majority Council approval. The Council predetermines which matters to address and when. I bet they do. Once confirmed, the council chairman hands over the agenda to the Council of Elders Assembly chair, who presides over the meeting. This is one of the interesting things, right? It's a democracy, but it's like a democracy that's like, it's like almost like, you know, it's like you don't get to decide what's for dinner. You get a choice of like what we chose between these. It's like saying like there's a difference between someone saying like, hey, like what you want for dinner, and then going, I would like, you know, chicken wings and fries. Okay, let's get chicken wing and fries. It's more like, hey, I'm making chicken wing and fries and I'm making burgers. Which one do you want? You decide. Normally, matters cannot be discussed at the Citizens' Assembly without prior council review, which is kind of silly. Council review matters yield only two outcomes. Either they're already thoroughly discussed and only need citizens' votes, ooh, okay, or they require citizens to hold debates to reach final resolutions during the Assembly. So this is part of democracy nowadays too. Like, there will be debates amongst politicians, and then the people get to vote on the actual agendas and referendums. We've had situations before in Ireland where like they will... We've like legitimately, I'm not even joking. Like one time they made like a referendum, and it's like it's one of those things. They will make a referendum and people will vote on it, and if they don't get the desired outcome, you will see the same thing happen where they will try to reword the referendum. So it is one of those things where like while that is how the world works, it can also be like kind of like dangerous letting, you know, a group of few decide that sometimes, you know. Results are tallied using pottery shards blessed with Capelli's runes, with voting dahlia placed throughout Okhema's during assemblies. After throughout discussion, voting proposals, the Council of Elders post and approve decree. So they have to prove it afterwards? Oh no, it's approved decrees. Continued. Core functions of the Citizens' Assembly. The Assembly wields the important capacities of legislative power, the appointment of government officials declaring war, conceding peace, and the actual control of armies during wartime. Yet historically and practically, Okhema Citizens' Assembly isn't fully controlled and directed by the citizens, but rather a means to ensure that elites who represent the majority of social interests can effectively manage social matters. Again, this is technically what happens with government policies now, where the elite, the people who are like in power, usually like put the people's opinions through a sieve. But it's becoming less and less a citizens' assembly and more of like a citizens' you can give your input assembly. You know what I mean? That's what it's becoming. In other words, the current system where the leader of the Chrysos heirs and the Council of Heirs jointly manage Okhema was decided upon the Okhema citizens, which is good. Assembly system, citizens have influenced policymakers through voting and other means of political participation, rather than directly managing social affairs or making political decisions. You want them to be able to have a democracy and be able to vote on what they want, right? Appendix. Principal matters, members of the Council of Elders. The Council of Elders is a government organization consisting of representatives from the Amphoreus city-states. While most are elected by city-states, some receive direct invitations from current Council of Elders members. No. Don't like that. The idea of like a Council of Elders and current Council of Elders members are able to invite people. No, everyone should be voted in. If it's a citizens' assembly and it's a Council of Elders, they should all be voted in. Authorized by citizens of assembly, they manage various. This is something that happens as well in the Real War 2 that was frustrating too, where it's like you'll find that like people. I remember specifically. Like there was elections where like people got like really low votes, and because they were still like, you know, friends with or other, you know, political parties, they got like, you know, higher positions in government because they're, you know, they know people in higher parties. It was crazy, you know. It's how, you know, I don't like that at all. The most renowned honorary elder Legurius and Anticteron, a race that was already nearly extinct before the Chrysos heirs, had communicated directly with Capelli multiple times during the era of Chrysos era and passed the wishes of mortals to Capelli, showing himself a true Theros. Lycanus' neutrality is well noted by all, which explains his frequent selection as the Citizens' Assembly chair. Significantly, Elder Kindness, who is a goddamn idiot, has shown great effectiveness in Okhema's governance and gathered many followers. Many believe Kindness will leverage accumulated resources to challenge the current situation where Chrysos heirs hold the real authority and transform Okhema's political structure. So Kindness is like the one who came along in the government, and like all of a sudden everyone's like, yeah, she's speaking some truth. Not saying she's speaking truth, by the way. I actually disagree with her all the time. But you know those people, it's like she's telling it like it is, you know? That's the way it looks like to me anyway. I actually really liked reading that. What happened there? I have so much drift now. It's crazy. I tried to fix it, but it's not fixing. But I only noticed it during Hoyo games. No other game I noticed it in. Yeah, I do love that like they do political stuff really well here in Honkai Star Rail, and they make it relate to real world stuff as well. And I think we're all mature enough. You know what I mean? I think we're all mature enough to have a game that does reflect real world, political stuff. I think it's a good thing that Honkai Star Rail not only reflects real world religions, real world cults, real world politics, real world factions, and all this stuff. Like we saw that in Xian's show with the factions. We saw that. Look at this drift. Look at this. It's crazy. We saw that in Penacony with like shareholders and all this stuff too. They love reflecting real stuff, and I think we're all mature enough to deal with that, right? 100%. But I do love that we get to like see insights like that about the council. It seems like it is like a voted council of elders, but it's also like there's like a hint of like how it can be corrupted very easily if you can just invite people to the council. But there is like a really big emphasis, thankfully, on people deciding stuff. The only problem is that like people can be also easily swayed by people who have sharp silver tongues, right? 100%. Yeah.
It's just as I suspected. The troubles afflicting the Flame Chase journey aren't just external issues. The complex internal politics and interpersonal relationships are also exacerbated.
Yeah, a lot of voices, a lot of opinions, a lot of people influences stuff. It can be like a noise almost sometimes amongst all the really difficult problems.
We can't let our guard down yet. We have to find out where we stand in this large interwoven web.
I can execute Canis right now. We can go find her. Yeah, I might just have to buy a new controller, but that's so upsetting, man. I hate having to like. I know like it is like it's a common thing, and it only happens like every like year or something. But it's just like, man, I really wish I didn't have to buy a new controller.
Nervous.
It's okay. It's not that soon. There are still a few more days on that. Don't worry, everything will be fine. 100%.
Let's just hope that everything goes well.
Yeah.
After all, as someone who has earned the gaze of an Eon, you should be able to overcome the trial of a regional god just fine.
That's the thing. We have gained the gaze of an Eon, right? We have done all this stuff here. We are favored by some gods.
We've also unknowingly gotten used to sleeping with the midday sun shining brightly above our heads.
Yeah.
Get some rest.
I mean, that's what's kind of like I wouldn't be able to do
Perhaps a new phase of our trailblazing expedition in Amphoreus is about to begin.
Oh, the way he says it. Get some rest and wait for the trial. A few days later in the vortex. Oh, we're just going to it. The Vortex of Genesis. Look at this crew.
Esteemed one, Oronyx's vacant totem awaits. If you have already made your preparations to become a pillar of Amphoreus, please step forward.
The smile on our face, the side smile. This is awesome. This is so awesome. I'm in love with the way they're presenting the story in Amphoreus. Casters?
Miss, I'm sorry. I'm not sure what I should say to help calm your nerves.
Don't be sorry about anything. It's okay. You're amazing.
Right. Perhaps something like, as long as you can successfully complete this trial, the rest of the Flame Chase journey will be smooth
Heck
sailing.
yeah, great thing to say.
No, that sounds a little strange. Don't worry. It won't take up too much of your time. Don't worry. You'll definitely make it back alive.
What a sweetheart. It's okay.
Sorry. It seems like I've made the mood even heavier. In any case, may everything go your way.
Don't worry about it whatsoever. Very absolute sweetheart.
Accepting a Titan's trial is a very peculiar experience. I'm afraid that I'm not able to accurately describe it. You can only go and experience it for yourself.
Right.
I believe that you'll be able to pull it off.
Isn't that heartbreaking to see just Triby and Trina there? It's so heartbreaking.
I can still vividly recall when you entered the Vortex of Genesis for the first time. At that time, I could never have imagined that a guest from beyond the sky would shoulder the fate of Amphoreus.
Yeah, when you think about it.
Don't feel burdened. Just like during the trial of strife, Trinan and Finan will be waiting for you outside. If something unforeseen were to occur, they will intervene in the trial and rescue you.
Absolute sweethearts. Absolute sweethearts, right?
May Kefali bless you.
Same to you. Absolute sweethearts. Like, doesn't it just feel terrible just seeing the two of them? I mean, it's just me. I don't know. It feels absolutely terrible just seeing the two of them like this.
Little Grey.
Little Grey.
And Mem, thank you. Your resolves cannot be questioned. We praise your pure selflessness and courage. May Kefali light your path forward.
It is legitimately like a feeling that you get from every single character here in Amphoreus of actual gratefulness, and you can tell this whole thing has been weighing on them for a long time, so to get outside help, you can tell just it means the world to them, honestly.
Get ready to assume Oronyx's divinity, Trailblazer.
Oh man.
The divine position of Oronyx has already been vacant for some time. We can feel the space of the trial closing. As there isn't much of their soul left, we'll have to complete the ceremony before their soul completely dissipates.
Oh, okay, so we're obviously, you know, running low on time. Let's begin.
The eighth core flame coveted by the miracle that once belonged to the great veil of Evernight, Oronyx. It shall now be returned by the two elected heroes of the Chrysos heirs. A traveler who is upright and courageous, and a sacred beast that invokes miracles.
I love the way that she's called a sacred beast, right?
Mem.
Yeah. Oh, you're so right, Mem. You're so right. You're so right.
Both of you, please, come forward. Recite along with us.
They do so much for this world, don't they?
Majesty of the 12 Titans, pillars of the
Oh, Mem. Mem.
we seek your divinity to mend the rifts of the world.
Mem is making this the greatest thing of all time.
Fill our bodies with blood of gold, till we wither in willing service to the prophecy.
Mem is the go. Mem is the go.
I don't think I have gold blood.
These are just words meant to make the prayer seem more solemn. Please, focus.
Honestly, that's a question I would ask. I think it's, you know, it's a question I would ask myself, but it is very Stelle to like interrupt a big chant to be like,
And surrender the core flame.
Oh my god. The fact that they manually make us do this is really, really important, I feel like. It's a small action that shows us that, like, we are involved, right? For sure. Very cool. And then seeing it light up. Oh, there's the whispers we know so well, right?
Oronyx. Their soul has been waiting for a long time.
Perhaps they're also quietly waiting for the arrival of their successor.
Wait for my return, my friends. I think it's a really interesting that we're like desperately trying to get the core flame, and the Oronyx has been desperately waiting for someone to succeed them, right? I love all of you. I'm saying it. I'm saying it.
That doesn't seem appropriate for the current mood. So let's just leave the farewells for next time.
Sure. Finan loves it. Look at Finan and Casper's face. Like, I think the people on Amphoreus are so romantic and so not romantic in a love, like we're in love kind of way, but romantic in a very like beautiful way. I think that they love the idea of being very like emotional. So like that's why Casper's and Finan are smiling, but Don Hong's like,
Don't worry, you're tougher than I am, right?
You see what I mean? Like they're so like I'm not saying Don Hong doesn't love us, by the way, but Don Hong is he knows us really well. But I feel like the people in Amphoreus are like, inherently more emotional in a good way than most other places. Not that, again, as I'm saying, not that other places don't have emotions or don't have love for us, but I feel like they're like romantic on the base level, Let's go. Yeah, let's go, Stelle. This is gonna be so interesting. I wonder what this is gonna look like.
Traveler from beyond the sky, let us pray that the Titan acknowledges your worthiness.
Heck yeah.
Although she loves cracking jokes at inopportune times, her determination is as strong as the Chrysos heirs. She will definitely succeed.
He gets Stelle. He gets Stelle so much already.
While she's away, I would like to have a chat with you, Aglaya.
Is this about his path and his journey?
Speak. I'm listening.
Aglaya seems to be ready for this though, right? Though that's such an iconic sound of the Murmurs of Oronyx, right? Such an iconic sound.
Slap, slap.
Wait, did she slap us in the face and say slap, slap? That's adorable.
How is it? How do you feel?
Oh my god, full sentence mem?
That's right.
Oh my
Look,
god.
look. I don't know what happened, but I'm able to talk.
No way.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
This is amazing, mem.
I have such a cute voice.
You do.
It must be because of all the memories that I collected. They allowed me to grow beyond expectations.
Oh my god, she's adorable.
Also,
This is amazing. She's able to speak now.
the words of the Titan are becoming clearer.
Yeah. There's the mother thing again, right?
Have I finally reached the end? Or the years of isolation coming to an end?
So she sees it as kind of like a freedom from this, right?
Oronyx. Oh, how heartbreaking. Ever since the figure draped in the black cloak robbed them of their core flame, they have been relegated to waiting in isolation in such a confined space.
Right. So it's literally just like waiting out their days for the end. For someone to succeed and for someone to come and grab them. I still can't believe Mem is speaking in full sentences. She's so adorable.
We are going to help alleviate their pain, right?
Yeah. I can't get over this. She's like, it's so different, right? It's such an interesting thing.
Memories broken.
Wait, we're right here?
Mother, where?
I was actually thinking we'd get some combat sequences, but
Who are they calling out for?
they keep calling out for Mother, yeah. Such a... If there's one thing Honkai Star Rail knows what to do, it's to make a scene epic. Like, look at this. So incredible looking. We've been here before when we came here last time. Do we think... Is it going to be as simple as just walking up here? Nice boots.
You. It's you. I remember you.
You can tell the pain in Ornyx's voice for 100%, right? There's definitely a pain there.
Skyfather has gazed upon you.
Skyfather? Is that the Aeon?
Mother is calling for you.
Mother's Skyfather and Mother is calling for us? Yeah, I was thinking Fuli, the remembrance, right? The Skyfather referred to Fuli. Interesting. So he's saying, like, our mother calls for us. Does that mean mother would be an Aeon as well, then? If father's an Aeon? The Titan's words are indistinct. Each syllable emerging from the mist seems like cloaked in frost, symbolizing memory.
Sky Father has chosen you.
Yes, we have been gazed upon by Fuli. Who is your mother? That's the question. But we're not getting full answers. It's like kind of disjointed, right? A majestic voice pierces through the golden mist, reaching the unseen mountain and walls in the distance, reflecting and returning to your ears as an echo. Within the echo, you seemingly could not make out the cry of a baby. You could make out the cry of a baby. What?
Mother is no longer responding.
What the hell? We've come to you because of something important. This mother and father stuff is so interesting.
Something important. An important matter.
Oronyx, listen to me. Aren't you tired? Throughout the
Look at
long
Mem.
years, you have always been protecting the fate of Amphoreus. Each time people draw strength from within their memories, every single ripple falls onto your shoulders.
Mem is like, and again, Mem wasn't like some idiot. I want to make that clear. But like, I think it's one of those situations now that Mem's just not saying mem. She still is cute, but it's less cute, and now like you can feel like the weight of her words in this sense as well. And I don't want to make it seem like I wasn't listening to Mem. You guys know I was listening to Mem. I love talking to Mem. But I feel like, you know, for this moment, they definitely, like, you know, have Mem having a different tone of voice even, you know?
There's no need for you to bear this any longer, Oronyx. From today onwards, someone else will bear time
All the
on
folded
your
arms.
behalf. This is why we have come.
And you can tell Mem is speaking about this in such a proper way as well, right?
Freedom. I want freedom.
So much pain with Oronyx here, so much pain.
Oh, poor child. Everything will be fine. Let us help you. You can have a good rest now.
Mem is amazing. Mem is amazing. What's troubling you, big fella? Oh, I feel like I have to. I feel like it's very Stelle. I feel like Stelle is the only person that would stand in front of a Titan and be like, "What's troubling you, big fella?"
You have potential strength.
Does that mean we've done something good here?
Willpower. Powerful. And tenacious. But you lack
Oh.
something. Just one thing.
What is that one thing?
Lacking something. What is it?
What you lack is a future.
Whoa. 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 What are you talking about? What are you talking about? That's right, I live in the moment. What future? I don't have a future? Last episode we talked about the idea of Stelle possibly, like... We saw her fading away, right? We saw that with Castris. What is going on here?
Future?
Traveler from the sky. You should have
What?
dissipated already.
What? What are you talking about?
The gaze from the Sky Father. Stabilize
No way.
your form.
So we were supposed to... Is she saying we're supposed to dissipate when we came to Amphoreus, but Fuli saved us? What?
Because From the moment you crossed the sky, your life was cast away.
Wait, we lost our future and our life when we came here to Amphoreus?
Right now, you are simply a collection of walking memories.
What are you talking about? We're a collection of memories?
What? How is that possible?
What are we doing here, guys? What are we doing here? Do you mean that I'm already dead? Wait, we died? This music as well is so tense, so impactful. So we should have dissipated already? There's like a frost. The screen is like freezing. What do they mean by this?
Space is collapsing. Someone must inherit the authority.
And it can't be us because we don't have a future, is that it?
If the pillar is lost, the laws of time will collapse.
Jesus Christ, guys, what is happening?
Amphoreus will succumb to eternal disorder.
You still haven't explained things clearly. Revive you. So that's the thing. So we can't take this power because, as I said here, by the way, I'm just gonna screenshot this as well. By the way, we're a collection of walking memories. Stelle asked if we were supposed to die already. Were we supposed to die when we crashed here? When we first entered through the sky? And Fury has been keeping us like from dissipating?
Never compromises. Never bears grudges. Never forgives. Never makes a choice. Child of humanity. Titans. Mother. Skyfall.
We need to find out who Mother is. We need to. This is crazy. My heart is pounding.
Restrains everything that exists in this world.
Oronyx's divinity is dissipating? Is the trial coming to an end?
Wait, are we getting are we getting it anyway?
Strider of remembrance.
We are. We're getting it anyway.
My strength. I shall entrust
This is crazy.
you.
You can almost feel the pressure ourselves, the weight of this situation, like. My heart is thumping.
The fate of the world. If you wish to save it, go and find
What?
your future that has been stolen.
So someone stole our future? We can still find it? This is... Honkai.
Even if that means
What?
you'll have to cheat death.
That has to have something to do with what happened with Castros in the cliffhanger. It has to.
You'll have to challenge that.
Huh?
And a shadow clasped with unyielding fingers.
No way. No freaking way. Before passing the 15 entry hours, go forth and claim your future. We have to challenge the Death Titan? This is the true trial of time to gain a future so we can actually have a future. What? So this, I keep saying it, but that's definitely the cliffhanger they left with last time. We don't have a future. We're a collection of walking memories that was saved by Fury. When we pass beyond the sky, we're supposed to dissipate. Our future has been taken from us. And we have to challenge the Death Titan to get our future back. This is insane. What the hell? Talk to Casters right away.
You're finally awake.
Oh my god, what a thing to wake up to. Oh my god, I would cry. I would cry. Actually, I probably would like start, you know, blushing and then hiding my face.
I'll keep it simple. You succeeded. Oronyx has entrusted you with their divinity. Now you're no different from a demigod of Amphoreus.
Crazy.
However,
My heart is thumping. This game is incredible.
Mem has told me about what happened during the trial.
Sure.
They're still explaining things to the others and told me to bring you back to your room to rest first.
Makes perfect sense that they would do that, and I'm glad they did. So the Titan must be joking. Don't side on Hong. Oh my god, so what's my superpower? I think this is an appropriate reaction.
There's
Stelle's face.
something that I've never told you.
What?
When we landed on Amphoreus, our car was pierced by Nicodor's lance. Do you remember? Back in the ruins of the Abyss, this is what I said.
Yes.
You passed out when our car got hit. I blacked out too, but not before dragging you out.
Yes.
It's a good thing we were in the car.
What is he about to reveal here?
We would have been crushed to pieces.
I am terrified. What are you about to reveal, Dan Hong?
Actually, my account kind of made light of the situation.
What?
What actually happened was much more complicated.
Don, beautiful Hong, what are you talking about? I'm so worried. What are you talking
You were
about?
severely injured back then, with several wounds still bleeding profusely. I struggled to carry you out and used the last of my strength to stem the bleeding. But then, I was also hit by a falling rock and lost consciousness.
So we could have died? Did we die?
The last time I checked, you still weren't breathing. But when I regained consciousness, I saw that you were alive and full of energy.
Oh, his voice.
So I never brought this up
The
again.
nervousness in his voice. So what might have happened was we died during that crash, which is what we were saying that we theorized. As soon when that crash happened, we probably died in that crash somehow. And then Fuely probably helped us and probably even sent Mem there as well to guide us. How exactly did I come back to life?
I'm not sure whether the gaze of Fuli has anything to do with this matter.
I think it has to, right?
But according to the Titan, you are living in the form of a memory right now.
Oh my...
Just like those objects of the past and the miracles of Oronyx.
That's why... Oh my... Guys. This is... It's incredible. I want to make clear, it's incredible. But I feel like I'm in another world right now. I feel like I stepped into another universe right now. To have this sprung upon us in the first, part of Act 3 is crazy. Look at his sad face as well.
Perhaps Mem is the anchor rope that ties you to
I was
the
thinking...
present.
Not in that way, but you know what I
assumed
mean?
They couldn't stray too far from you, but the truth might be the exact opposite.
I was thinking that Mem had something to do with this as well when they showed up, but obviously I didn't think of it as an anchor. Cry for me, Stella, do something. I want to say these as well because it's Stella, but I feel like...
It's not time for us to despair yet. There must be a way to save you.
we have to face the Death Titan somehow.
Oronyx mentioned finding your stolen future and cheating death. Considering Mighty's indestructible body, it seems to suggest that there is some kind of miraculous power in Amphoreus that can even reverse death.
He's so smart, isn't he? The fact that he thinks of this as well, you know? And of course he will be desperate. Like, Don Hung loves us. Of course he would be. He ran over to us as soon as he saw our eyes, shaking open. We have to find a way to find our stolen future.
The key seems to lie with the Hand of Shadow, whose whereabouts are unknown.
And that's why this is so well done. Because right now we're terrified. We just had this big thing dropped on us, this big bit of information, and we know the one way we can get our future back is by facing the Hand of Shadow. And the thing that they've emphasized through the first 2 chapters of Amphoreus is we don't know where they are.
Hey, are you alright?
I know they can speak even here too.
I heard you two talking about Thanatos. Cass is also very concerned about
Of
the
course they would be. And I'm concerned because again, the way this is masterfully done, is by showing that cliffhanger last time of oh, Stella's gonna die, right? And then having this happen here again. They showed us dissipating. It because it's one of those things where sometimes you would criticize them showing something so serious as a cliffhanger, but the way they've done it is actually emphasize the story where instantly when they say, oh yeah, Stelle, your future was stolen from you and you're actually dead. That scene we saw at the end of the last chapter now becomes heavier, and it makes this scene heavier too.
She has left the vortex and returned to the garden. Shall we go and look for her?
Please.
Thanatos is the Titan that Cass has always been looking for. Regardless of whether there are any clues, There's probably no one else that understands death better than her.
We're literally facing the freaking Titan of Death for this chapter, aren't we? That's our job this chapter.
Let's do that then.
Oh, right. There's something that I have to tell you. The Chrysosairs already know everything that has happened to you.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I was too worried, so I told them everything. Please don't hate me, okay?
Everyone's so worried and Amphoreus about upsetting people in that way, and I can be like that too, but Jesus, I'm glad you told them because things can be put, because we have urgency now. That is a crazy revelation. We are dead, technically. We probably died in that crash. And Fully saved us in that moment and sent Mem to help us there and maybe anchor us. And we somehow should have dissipated by now. We should have disappeared by now, but Fully gazed upon us. We are now a demigod, but we must find a way to get our future back from the Hand of Shadow, which we know is not even around anymore. We don't know where they are. This is a crazy, like, and to drop it like this at the start of a chapter like this.
Let's do that then.
You notice the resolute, gentle look in Donhong as always. Yes, he doesn't want to burden you with his worries in words. You already understand his trust transcends words, and once again, it's not time for the sorrow yet. Next, we will go to the growth checker situation while you were looking for Casters and Mem. I could tell that. I think they did a really good job on his facial expressions. He had this really soft look in his eyes where he he didn't want to emphasize too much that he was worried about us because he didn't want to worry us. But Donhong is very much worried about us. 100% he is. This is crazy. They've done a masterful job of just making me terrified. And again, it's one of those things where, like, I never doubt Honkai Star Rail because I trust them so much with writing stories. But showing that cliffhanger last episode, you now understand why they did it. Because now, retroactively, that becomes heavier, and now this scene becomes heavier because we know we saw her dissipate at one point. Now we're just waiting for this moment of what could happen in that scene. And you guys know, like, sometimes I'm usually against the idea of, like, this is what happens in the future, you know, showing the future before you see it. Like, sometimes it's like where I can work in movies. It worked here. It definitely worked here. Holy freaking hell. Holy freaking hell.
Miss, I'm right here.
She was waiting for us as well. You hear soft steps coming closer one step at a time.
Please stay there and slowly turn around.
Whoa, Castris. For some reason you feel like you have seen this scene before? You want to turn your head, but you glimpse a dash of purple brushing past your face instead? Then... what the hell? A chill seeps through your skin, spreading into your veins. Thump thump, your heartbeat begins to slow. At this moment, I just want to close my eyes. Remembering the near-death experience, gotta stay on guard. Spin around and immediately give Castris a scare. Aside from your vision, your senses grow more acute. You feel the presence of a purple sea. And then...
Please pardon me.
Castris, you have an eternal pardon for me, forever. Don't even worry about that. Whoa! Gorgeous artwork here, by the way. Absolutely stunning. A subtle fragrance of an unnamed flower fills your senses, its sweetness making you forget the need to breathe. You realize you are still alive. No, to be more precise, your death was not thorough. Your death was not thorough? So it's like we're not alive, but our death wasn't thorough enough to make us disappear. I think the idea, by the way, of this line here, by the way, making you forget to breathe, it's like this sweetness that is emphasized so massively within brutality, right? The coldness of the initial touch is... Oh, she's touching us as well, right? Is she doing that? Because again, we're the only person she can touch without things being affected, right? The initial touch quickly as it came, and replacing it was a touch of fingertips, a tremble born of trepidation that originated from a certain lanky arm. Her quivering finger gently brushed against your cheek, causing a faint tickle. I'm sorry, but this is so amazing. It's so... Because, like, we know Castris is deprived of touching people. We know she can't touch people. The fact that we have this connection with Castris in any way means the world to me. The fact that before touching us, she asked us to brace ourselves.
Just as I expected. I cannot feel anything.
Am I really dead? She can't... This music as well, by the way. Dark. gorgeous. It's gorgeous, it's dark, but it has a trepidation to it that makes it feel really, like, heavy.
Back at the Grove, I was puzzled as to why you
That's
were
why-
not
oh my God,
affected
that's
by
why.
my curse. I thought that it might have been the special ability
Same.
of a traveler from beyond the sky.
Oh my
Never did
God.
I expect that this would be the true reason.
It's because we're freaking dead.
I'm sorry. I should have noticed that something was amiss earlier.
The people of Amphoreus say sorry every 2 lines, and I need you guys to know that you have an eternal forgiveness always with me, Casterus. And it's not even anything to forgive. This music is gorgeous. They put so much weight on their shoulders from everything in Amphoreus that they put so much weight on themselves. It's invaded their minds so much that they put so much weight in smaller moments too. Not that this isn't small, by the way. I don't want to make it seem like that.
Miss, if my abrupt behavior just now offended you,
No.
I hope that you can forgive me.
Caster's eternal forgiveness all the freaking time. You know? I'm sure Stelle doesn't mind a beautiful girl touching her cheek. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you.
I'm just thinking, if your soul has really left your body, as a mortician, I might be able to trace where it has gone to.
I love that she's stepping up right away, because this is something obviously is very much her wheelhouse, right?
Cass, did you find anything?
My apologies. Not as of yet. Perhaps I have overestimated my capabilities.
This music is incredible. It's subtle, but as I said, there's like an interesting trepidation and fear to it, while also being beautiful. It's perfect.
But, miss, would you be willing to let me try again?
Sure.
This time, I'll increase the area of contact slightly. Perhaps the result might be different this time.
Casterus, my heart is going crazy, please.
I have never touched the living in this way before. If my actions are in any way disrespectful, I hope that you can forgive me.
And this is such an amazing line too. Honkai Star Rail thinks of everything. Like, of course she wouldn't know how to like have human contact and like, you know, or like I'm not saying it is disrespectful, but like she's questioning herself because how would you personally know? You know what I mean? What's the most appropriate way to like touch someone? What's the most appropriate way to invade someone's personal space in a very respectful way? Even though like again, I know Stelle and I know like, you know, a lot of us, you know, like it's like the gentle touch of Casterus isn't going to upset us. And I hope it makes sense. Like, I'm not just saying like you know now in a way it's like, oh, like, you know, beautiful lady touching your cheek. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that like Casterus is one of the most gentle characters in the world. She is a character who like I trust so inherently, and I think is just such a beautiful soul. And that's the thing that people understand about personal space is that like, you know, because I've seen some people in the past be like, oh, so you let this person hold your hand but not me, and it's like, yeah, it's about whoever you're most comfortable with. I don't think any of us is going to be uncomfortable around Casterus. I know different people are different, like, you know, even like the person you love the most, you might not want them to be in your space. That's perfectly fine too. Casterus once again places her palm on your face. Her shivers can calm somewhat this time. Did you discover something?
I seem to have caught a glimpse of something. Your soul is currently roaming someplace and cannot find a way to escape.
Currently roaming?
But perhaps it might not be a bad thing. If your soul is still wandering around, it means that we still have time. We have a chance to find it before the fingers of Thanatos sweep everything away.
So we have to be fast about this? There's a big emphasis this chapter on time and running out of time, right?
Clues. Just a few more. I need more guidance.
Yeah. I think also it's intentionally like making her be this close because it wants you to feel exactly what Stelle is feeling. We have Casterus, who is this ethereal, magical, you know, woman who has such a radiant magic about her, and her just like being this close to Stelle. There's no way you're not feeling like this same type of like magic, right?
The connection has been severed. With my strength, I'm not able to trace it. It was me. I was a little too hasty.
It's okay.
Don't worry, miss.
Although we currently have no leads, I will do my best to search for the whereabouts
It's
of
okay.
Thanatos, bring back their core flame, and personally return
Oh.
to you the life that you have lost too soon.
She desperately wants to do this, and this journey that she's been on to find that Thanatos is becoming even more emphasized now because of like how, I guess how heavy this situation has gotten, right?
I know that I'm lacking in confidence, but I hope that you can keep this promise of mine in mind. Before I manage to deliver on this promise, please do your best to hang on.
Let me help. Please let me help in any way I can.
Amphoreus needs you.
Oh my god. Live on bravely, I understand. I'll do my best. The thing is as well, like, it's all, like, the love that these characters have for Stelle means the world to me. It really does.
Lady Aglaya and Lord Finon are currently discussing some matters in the paths. They're worried about you too. If possible, please go there and let them know that you're well. Although, I don't actually know whether your current situation can be described as well.
I understand what you mean, though. I understand what you mean.
Also, please accept this Styxian fable. Reading can help one to focus and relax. I hope that reading this can help tide you through this difficult period.
You can tell Castris is trying her very best to calm Stelle, while she also, I can tell, has a bubbling anxiety in her heart as she's talking to us. Styxian Fable 1. A collection of fables passed down from the city-state of dragon waves of Styxia, compiled by the bardless Archipegia. The copy is gifted by Castris by Trian. The Dragon and the Princess. When the dragon's wings first swept across Styxia, waves crashing against the rocks, all from the poor to the rich, from the curious to the fearful, looked up in awe. Dragon, dragon, why are you silent and sorrowful? The princess climbed to the high tower where the dragon made its nest, gently stroking its forehead with pity. The dragon's wings revealed decaying flesh. Blackened pus poured from within. The distant black tide had transformed it into a monster. It opened its mouth and swallowed the compassionate princess whole. A great disgrace. We must avenge her. The archers with silver bows and blacksmiths with hammers gathered 700 warriors, swearing to cut open the dragon's belly and rescue the princess. It was a fierce battle. Stones shattered. Columns fell, until the dragon was riddled with countless bone-exposing wounds, bled black blood, and perished. The princess pulled from the dragon's belly was already lifeless. Jesus Christ, can you imagine pulling the dead body of a princess from the dragon's belly? It's so dark. My child, born of my flesh and blood, how could I allow you to perish before me? The grieving queen summoned the kingdom's most precious treasure and called upon an alchemist in the high tower. The alchemist set a ritual, drawing the dragon's bones and gathering its soul, hoping to reshape the scattered flesh of the dragon into reborn in the form of the princess. But how could the corrupted flesh of a dragon give birth to a pure white flower? The princess resurrected from death extended her claws, unfurled her massive bony wings, and devoured every last soul in the city. As the evil dragon's wings finally cast shadows of death over Styxia, none, be they poor, rich, weeping, or trembling, could resist its grasp. Styxia, once a land of treasured glory, your people unto the last breath refused to blame you, refused to blame the loving queen, the valiant centurion, the wise mage, or the kind princess, only lamenting the inevitable and unstoppable black death that sealed their faith. Archipegia's note: oh, this story holds great value. If this is true, then it was the evil dragon that brought death to Styxia, but where is the dragon now? The one who once took the form of the princess. Do you think this also like relates to the black tide in some way? The idea of like a shadow of death over Styxia, kind of like being the black tide over Styxia as well. Very interesting stuff, honestly. And of course, Aventurine. Trying to cheer me up right now.
Lady Aglaya and Lord Finon are currently discussing some matters in the past.
Yeah, it's the same thing she said before. Heavy stuff here with Castris. 100%. Heavy. I can tell she cares so much. And it's very interesting, and it's very Casters to give us a book about a princess getting eaten alive as a way to kind of calm us down, you know? Because her feelings are obviously very different. Her dealings with death are obviously much more common than we would have as well, you know? I'm not saying it's tone deaf. I'm saying it's kind of like very Casters to be like, here's a story about death. Hopefully it will calm you down, you know what I mean? And some people are like that, like, you know, and it's not just, I feel like, you know, I can be like, you know, people find that to be weird too, like the way, like, I'll watch a Nightmare on Elm Street to feel cozy. You know what I mean? I'll watch, you know, a Scream 1 to 3 to feel cozy. And some people are different. Some people watch other movies to feel cozy. I love a good horror movie. It makes me feel cozy. It really does. Yeah. Let's talk to our pals here. This is very nerve-wracking, guys. It's very nerve-wracking.
That partner! Hyacinth said you definitely wake up.
You hear the nerves in his voice?
How do you feel?
You can tell how... Because this is... Can I be honest here? It's not only nervousness about us. Let's be honest here. It's also nervousness about Amphoreus. You know what I mean? This is someone who now bears the core flame who apparently is dead. You know what I mean? In a way, it's pretty crazy. So the entire world knows about this now. She can even take the pulse of someone who's dead. It feels quite cool to be a part of the spirit. Yeah, sure.
Well, at least you look no different from the living. I think that most living people don't even look as good as you do.
Fine on. He doesn't have my day to compliment, so he's going, I'll compliment still.
You've completed the trial of time, and I have to admit that the process went better than I expected. Even in the end, that Titan's heart still showed a soft spot for humankind.
I think there's something to be said as well. Yeah, Stelle's trial was a little bit easier than everyone else's, right? For sure.
However, I never expected that. Two people who have cheated death would appear in Okhema at the same time.
That's what we have been talking about. Mighty has been in Okhema for such a long time, but has no one thought to study his indestructible body? If there were even any minor breakthroughs, we wouldn't be as clueless as we are right now.
Finance campaign to study Maide's body, what a surprise. But no, like, it makes, I guess like what they're saying makes sense is like, why is he indestructible? Why is he alive? And they want to relate that to Stelle. I love that they've already been like thinking about this constantly until even when we were asleep, you know?
Many have had this idea, but so far there have been no results. If it were successful, Thanatos wouldn't have disappeared without a trace. Nevertheless, now is not the time for us to give up. At the very least, we can still see a glimmer of hope.
Aglaia, the amazing leader, right?
Cypher. If anyone in this world knows the
Cypher?
whereabouts of death, it would be her.
Oh my god, are we gonna get to meet Cypher?
I'll try and get her to return to Okhema, but do be prepared for a less
This is
than
gonna be so
ideal
fun.
outcome. Please understand that throughout the history of Amphoreus, no one has ever managed to escape the clutches of death. At the end of time, Thanatos silently awaits all.
I'm just gonna say this right now, and there's nobody in this world like Stelle. There just isn't. I'm not even just trying to like hype her up, but thank you for your help.
It is my duty. We too require you to bear the divine position of time.
Yeah, and I think she did a fantastic job here being realist while also giving us a little bit of hope.
But before that, just...
What's wrong, Aglaia?
Omens always come in pairs. A tiny air current will eventually brew into a storm that tears the sky apart.
She thinks something bad will happen as well.
It's Anaxagoras. He has initiated contact with the Council of Elders.
Oh, there you go.
In the end, it is still come down
He's hedging
to
his
this.
bets, I guess, maybe.
I earnestly hope that your assessment of him is accurate, Finan. Otherwise, the efforts of my teacher and I over the past millennium might be reduced to dust because of that great performer.
Oh, we're switching to Anaxagoras' point of view. Okay. Stunning. Absolutely freaking gorgeous. What are we doing here? Who are they?
I'm back here again.
Back here again. Wait, she was talking about Anaxagoras as the other person that cheated death, right? Because they said the last time he was dead, right? So there's two people that cheated death here with the core flames, I guess.
I remember this dream. This realm is covered in a silk-like fog, and the land is barren and harsh. The crowd of travelers leaves tracks everywhere.
This is a place he's used to visiting. I can't get over how beautiful this artwork is. Absolutely stunning.
Hey, excuse me. What is this place? Where in Amphoreus are we?
A rarity to see him raise his voice like this, right? Oh. Oh.
The mutters of the traveler are in a language I'm unable to comprehend. Or perhaps they're just distracted and ignored my question.
Tell me, which Titan reigns over this land? And how do I find them?
What is happening, man?
Hand of Shadow.
Oh, and it's like, even talking about the Death Titan with Anaxagoras as well.
Hand of Shadow Thanatos. Could this possibly be the Netherrealm?
The Netherrealm. So this may be where, like, Netherrealm sounds like it's like a like a land like beyond our world, right? For sure. Is he saying that this is maybe like where, if this is somewhere like that's like hard to be you know, how do you say it, like gotten to? Could this be where Thanatos is?
Not Netherrealm.
Not Netherrealm.
Then where is this? River of Souls? The outskirts of the Netherrealm? Are you heading downstream toward the Netherrealm?
I love how he's just so aggressive with them as well. It's very Anaxagoras, I feel like, to be like, you know, faced with something so terrified and just like biting back.
The Netherrealm. Nothing but an illusion.
It's been a long time since we talked about, like, since I've talked about Netherrealm in any context, but if I remember correctly, Netherrealm is like, it is like this otherworldly place. It's almost like it's not hell, but it's not like Earth. It's like this whole different weird region.
Titan rejects you.
What?
Me.
Are these like me, you, and me?
Listen.
What? The traveler lifts their wrinkled fingers and remains silent. I look in the direction they are pointing and listen closely. There. A massive shadow brought the sound of rushing tides. The sound of tides.
Sound of tides, he's saying.
I can hear it. I hear it deep within the tides, beyond the closed gates of the void world. A voice about to recount something.
What the hell?
Child of humanity.
Huh?
Is it death's embrace you yearn for with such urgency?
Wait, was that Cersei's talking to us?
Oh, you have awoken. Welcome back to the mortal realm.
So he was like in they said it was like not the Netherrealm, but it was a place where they said like, oh, the Titan rejected you. They talked about Thanatos, the Hand of Shadow, but it also rejected me. Is it like a place for rejected Chrysos heirs of some kind?
Your consciousness is dissipating much faster than I expected. Ultimately, it seems like the Titan's core flame is incompatible with a mortal body.
Okay.
How much longer can my consciousness remain in the mortal realm?
He asked this so calmly, I would be on my knees crying. He's actually a stunning character, isn't he?
In my estimation, at best, you'll see 15 more entry hours.
How long is that?
15
Oh.
days and nights.
And that means like 15 more dawns, like entering into the day, I guess.
What is it? Are you finally starting to become attached to the mortal world now?
On the contrary, 15 days feels a little too long for solving a singular problem.
He's like, I can do this in less time. Don't worry about that.
Stop giggling. It's time for us to go. The messenger from the Council of Elders is almost here.
So he has made contact with him. That was such a weird scene.
Let me ask you one more question. Are you really planning to betray Aglaya's will?
What betrayal is there to speak of when I was never loyal to her to begin with?
This is factual. As much as I want him to side with the Chrysos heirs, this is a factual statement. It's not a betrayal if you weren't on someone's side in the first place. It's like, it actually is like someone this whole time telling you, I disagree with your whole philosophy, I disagree with you, and then when they eventually like do something that goes against your philosophy, that you go, how dare you? You betrayed me. But even Aglaya knows this isn't a betrayal, you know?
What about that white-haired student of yours? Acting so recklessly, do you not care about what might happen to him?
This is a good point. Regardless of whether it's not a betrayal or not, this will affect the Chrysos heirs. A little smile?
There will be a price to pay for blind faith.
Whoa.
This is also a lesson for finance.
He's like, finance about to learn right now. Wow.
You truly are a strict teacher.
So we can play
Of course.
as
This is how I've always been.
as Anaxagoras now. Oh, is this new? Did they change this? As usual, I put my hand over the screen, even though you guys said you can't see them, but still. You know, it's one of those things where I'm always like nervous that I'll press like down too many times. So I guess like I'll get rid of sample. Well, Luca, right? Luca, I always feel terrible, but like it's just a fact that he is like and it's always terrible to say this. He is technically the weaker part of my team, but that doesn't mean he's not a valuable part of the team. You know what I mean? 100%. So now we have an Anaxagoras. Can we see his? First of all, his phone cover is great. Can we see his? Actually, we don't have to go up to the Astro Express area. We can just check out his idle animations first of all. More spacious. Okay, we need something more spacious. Is this spacious enough for you? So his first idle
All
animation.
things are connected by origin and are made of the same essence.
Okay, we have that idle animation. Bro is just science man wherever. What? Van Helsing over here. What the hell? And then grumpy, shy, gentle. Wait, we gotta zoom in a bit more. Surprised, confused. He looks more annoyed than confused. Yeah, don't worry. We're gonna be checking out the Titans lore next after this as well. We're not finished yet, but I just want to talk about everything that happened in this episode before we go any further. There's a lot to talk about, but honestly, at the same time too, I think there's a lot of confusion left up in the air. But it was an amazing episode. I really felt in the end of this that this was a heart-pounding and world-changing episode. Like, what a way to leave us in a cliffhanger last chapter and then bring us into this like heaviness almost instantly that changes the whole world around us, right? So the first thing I can say is that the way they left the cliffhanger last episode, as I said, was Stelle dissipating. She was disappearing in Castrus's arms. I didn't question the way they did this cliffhanger because it's one of those situations where like it made me intrigued to like crazy, but they justified it even more by the scenes they had in this episode and the reveals, because that led us to really feel like the drama of the situation. We know they're not just joking around. Something bad is going to happen here, you know? We start off this episode pretty much with Stelle kind of like thinking in her mind about taking on this trial, and we had Aglaia kind of like giving Stelle kind of a bit of like of a talk, right? And I think it was a really important talk. Before that we had Aglaia talking about Anaxagoras, and I think that's a big point of contention in this whole story is the idea that Anaxagoras does hold a lot of power in this situation because he is someone that does have a core flame, and Aglaia said plainly that she will do anything to get that core flame if needs be, but also it seems that there is a chance of him talking to the Council of Elders, which is a big opposition for Aglaia, which means that he has some power in this situation to disrupt things if needs be. And the Council of Elders is actually doing a very smart thing. I'm not saying I agree with it. It's very smart to like go to Anaxagoras and try to like, broker an agreement with that as well. But you can tell there's like a respect with Aglaia and Anaxagoras, but there is like a known situation here where he could literally change everything. And I think it's a very, very smart way of writing this, honestly. To have him as a character who is already, we know, is opposed to the idea of prophecies and the flame chase journey, to be like, in a way, something that can like disrupt the whole flame chase journey in general. It makes him a wild card that you wonder how is he going to interact with the story? Is he going to be on our side? All this stuff too. It's like an added piece of tension and drama. And then Aglaia talked to us about the flame chase journey. I love the way she expressed to us, like kind of like very plainly, like this is going to be dangerous. You are going to be tied to this world forever. You will become a demigod. If you choose to do this, you're going to have to realize that this is not something that just happens overnight and then you can like shake it off. And Aglaia was saying this, and I think it's so smart for Aglaia to do this, and it shows her character in such a strong way. She wasn't saying this to scare us. She wasn't saying this so we wouldn't do it. She was saying this because she acknowledges 100% that she would rather have, in my opinion, she would rather have a half-assed priest fully dedicated than a fully powerful Stelle half dedicated, because this isn't toe in, toe out. And she has made this clear many, many times. This isn't, oh, maybe I'll dip my waters in the waters of becoming a demigod. It's like you do it or you don't. And she will literally like, emphasize that. It's like, I can't have people half-assing this. And we see that here, like, she told all the stuff to Stelle about how dangerous this is and how serious this is because she wants Stelle to be aware. Not because she doesn't want her to do it, because she wants her to be aware that this is going to be something that will be heavy. A really great conversation between Aglaia and Stelle there. And kind of like reaffirming Stelle's want to do this, her journey as a trailblazer, all this stuff too, because I do think it emphasizes the trailblaze stuff as well. But we also got to talk to Casterus this journey as well. And I feel like, with Casterus, she also talked about the stuff with the dragon and the princess and the Styxia, and the story of a dragon devouring a princess and the princess becoming being remade in that dragon's image and then destroying the whole town of Styxia. The reason I think it's important to talk about this is because I think there's going to be a relation either emotionally or something to that story. They brought it up twice in this episode. They later on with Casterus giving it to us as like a comforting piece. They definitely want to know, like us to know that there is like a relation here. I do think it also makes Casterus' character so interesting as well to hand us the story twice or talk about the story twice, because again, like I said, it's like the way that like I find comfort in Nightmare on Elm Street. Some people find comfort in horrors, and she sees, she's so close to death that like she takes death very seriously. This stuff probably doesn't like phase her as much as it probably does other people in a way that would for us. This is a comforting tale in a way reading this story, not because she thinks it's funny or beautiful, but because like she's so close to death all the time, and she's such a big study of death, and she's always trying to follow the tracks of Thanatos, that she does have this thing where like it probably doesn't phase her in the same way it probably phases other people in that way. But she still does like take death very seriously. We talked about the political aspects of this world as well, and that was the stuff with Don Hong and Finon. And I love the way they do this, because one of the things I said a million times over about Honkai Star Rail, Honkai Star Rail gets the real world equivalent stuff so correct, whether it be factions, religious fanatics, cults, politics, war. All this stuff is done in such a fantastic way. Like Honkai Star Rail doesn't ever like romanticize these things. They show them how brutal and dishonest and horrible they can be, how disgusting they can be. The stuff with the Xian Show is a perfect example. How like the Xian Show tells the story of like, this amazing hunt we must go on. But then you see the other side of the story and you see like, oh, they're like criminals of war. You know what I mean? It's like they don't shy away from doing these real world things. And that's what makes the game feel so real and so full. Because they could easily do this thing where, like, you know, I'm using the Zansho as an example, where they'd be like, the Zansho are heroes, they stop the bad guys, and that's the story. And it's like, oh, wow, amazing. But instead, we have a complicated character of Jinyu who is complicated, and the Zansho in general, and the hunt, and all the stuff that has incredibly... I want to make it clear, like, some of the stuff isn't complicated morals. I'm talking about the complicated morals of, like, I love the characters of the Zansho, I love the characters of the hunt, but I also know that we can't just see the hunt as like this morally, you know, amazing thing. Because again, like, and especially like, I think the way you can look at it is like the actions of the Rainbow Arbiter, for example, are horrific. I like F them. I hope they die. I shouldn't say that. Like in Minecraft, YouTube, in Minecraft. This is a game I'm playing. I'm playing a game with you. This is a video game. But like it's like, you know, they destroyed a hospital, for example. That's what I'm saying. I'm just trying to say that Honkai Star Rail does like emphasize this stuff in a very realistic way. And this time we had this like very, you know, a description of like the diplomatic and democracy and that happens here in Amphoreus. And some stuff I thought was amazing. Some stuff I thought was like, you know, very realistic and related to real life. You know, the corrupt nature of stuff, the inviting of characters to your to the council, the way that it has like some influence but not all influence, the way it has like it's supposed to be harmonious with the people, but the people don't decide everything. It tried to emphasize exactly what the Council of Elders does and what they decide. And as I said, the example I use is that like it's not like the people get to decide everything. Just like in our society, what will happen is a bill will be brought forth for the people. There'll be debates about it, and then people will have to vote on it. So it's never just like, hey, what do you want? It's more just like, it is what you want, but then let's funnel this into what I think you want. And then you get to decide between chicken or fish. It's like, well, what if I want beef? It's like, well, chicken or fish. It's like, yeah, but I want beef. Well, no, the choices are chicken or fish. And that is politics. Like a lot of times it is like, it's like, I would love a bit of pork right now. Okay, then chocolate or gravy. It's like, what are these choices? I'm hungry. You know, like that, and they do that so perfectly here to show that it's not like this perfect system. It's the best system they probably have right now, but it's still like, you know, isn't emphasized in the most perfect way. I love how they talk about the idea of like, you know, people joining society and how like it needs to be emphasized that their choices are important too. All this stuff is very, very important because the people of Kremnos deserve to be part of this world just as anyone else does, right? Yeah, we got to learn about the politics and all the situation there as well, and how Anaxagoras might relate to this as well if he's talking to the people of the Council of Elders. But I think in these scenes, like, we just got to see like a once again kind of this very strong feeling of the people of Amphoreus that they want Stelle and Don Hong to be informed, not just because they want them to like be knowledgeable and help them, but I feel like, you know, they want them to put their best foot forward with all these situations. And Finon especially really cares about us in that sense, where he wants us all to be kind of like well informed, not for his sake and not for Amphoreus' sake, but for also our sake as well. And you can feel that when he gives us this information as well. But we take a rest, and this is where things start to go crazy. We go to the trial, where we're going to try and get the core flame. And we have some beautiful moments there where Stella interrupts, you know, Trin and Mem is reciting the mantra, and we turn around and say, I love you to all the characters. And this is one of my, again, why I love Amphoreus so much, and why I say Amphoreus is such a romantic place. In most worlds, if we turned around to people in the Zansho and said, I love you, I'm pretty sure like Shu Song would be like, we like you a lot too, but like, Stella, are you okay? You know what I mean? Like, not because they don't love us, but because it's just so out of the blue of Stelle to say this, you know, I love you guys, you know, I love you guys. And it's meant to be kind of like Stelle Goblin mode, you know what I mean? But because the people of Amphoreus are very romantic, and they do have a very like, I think the way they speak, they have so much passion and care for people. And again, I want to make it clear, the people of Penacony we met along the way, Firefly, for example, has so much love for us. We love her. But I'm saying, but it's one of those situations where like Act 2 saying we love someone is like a very funny thing, even though we do love them. I know Genuine cares about us. I know that, you know, the characters that bail about care about us. I know they would help us in a situation. I know they do. But I just think on the base level, when we arrive to Amphoreus, it's a very poetic and romantic and place where like it's very like emotional. You'll see that even in situations where I said this during this episode, like they will literally like, if I said like, oh, my favorite food is bacon. I know we're talking about food here. Maybe it's just because I'm thinking of dinner. But like, it's, my favorite food is bacon. And they served me the next day. They were like, they served me chicken. They would generally just start, I'm pretty sure like they would start crying and being like, I'm so sorry. You know, it's like, no, you don't have to be sorry. Because again, I think they place such a big emphasis on those on people as well. And I think it's such a cool contrast because while it's like a place of like gods and titans and demigods and Chrysos heirs and all this stuff too, they emphasize the real human emotions so powerfully here, where it feels like the communal aspects of the Chrysos heirs, whether it be from Castris, Fina and Mighty, Aglaya, Tribi, Trinon, all these characters have such a care for each other that it feels like a family sometimes. So when we said I love you to these characters, Finon and Castris had this smile on their face like, I actually kind of like it. You know what I mean? They made a joke about it afterwards that we say stuff in inopportune times, but they didn't insult us. You could tell they were kind of like, that's funny, you know? Because I think they are like romantic people. They are in a lot of ways. But we went into this trial and this is where everything just went crazy. This is the biggest thing, you know, and I guess it does relate to Anaxagoras in a way, but we found out that that Stelle is very capable of doing this trial, more than capable, but she doesn't have a future. Somehow in that crash, we seem to have died. And we are now being held together with hopes and dreams and memories by Fuli, who gazed upon us. This is what we're seeing now. We don't have it fully confirmed, but this is our thought process on it, right? And the Titan itself noticed this, but realized we were still the best option. We were the best option for the job. And I think it's like a really, really important thing to note. It's like, it's not that we're perfect for this. They still have some doubts, but there's no one else to like, it's not no one else. We're still very good for the job, but it's like, we still have one thing that we're lacking. And you can see like they still had to do this because they were going to like dissipate and they still cared about the world. So they wanted the world to have the power of time too. But they revealed to us basically that we were gazed upon by the father. She said the father is Fuli. And then we also have the mother calling to us, or we call to her, or the mother called to us in some way. Whoever the mother is. But we are basically a walking memory. We are dissipating. We should have dissipated by now, but Fuli kept us alive. And Mem is possibly, in Dan Hong's eyes, an anchor in some way to keep us in this world. And that's actually like a really powerful reveal. Because being a part of this world is such an important aspect. And to find out that like you are actually dead this whole time would be heavy on the base level of any story. But I think because there's so much emphasis in this world on future and getting to the future and tomorrow and see you tomorrow, having a character be told you have no future is like the opposite of everything that Amphoreus wants to strive towards, which is a future. And I don't know how Stelle's even able to take this and still joke about this, but we basically got that massive reveal. With also the mystery still being intertwined with it of like, who is the mother? Is Fuli's our dad? Fuli's the dad in this situation, whoever the mother is. It's really powerful and a really fantastic reveal. We saw the worry in Dan Hong's face when he woke us up. He looked so worried. And he was like, you can tell that as soon as we like flickered our eyes, he was like over us in 2 seconds, you know? And he basically tried to explain everything to us. Mem explained everything to the Chrysos heirs, thankfully. And basically we're trying to like figure out like what's the best course of action for this, while everyone else is trying to figure out a way to do this too. But I think the most important part of this whole scene with Dan Hong is that like he was trying his best to keep us together, even though he was not doing too good with the situation. He cares about us so much and we are so close that it's worrying for him. It's so worrying. And yeah, it really broke my heart seeing it. But I think, again, it's really powerful the way they do this. I think Honkai Star Rail was really good at, like, not... Like, because they could have had Dan Hong say, like, Still, I'm so worried. But instead, he realized, like, I don't want to worry her. So he's like, oh, Stelle, like, you know, yeah, you can go talk to Castris. But you could tell in his face that he realized the weight of the situation and how heavy and crazy impactful this is. We went to Castris, and we had one of the most beautiful scenes and one of the most ethereal and magical scenes I've ever seen in Honkai Star Rail. The touching of her face from Castris. The reason why this is so important is because we know Castris as a character could not touch people. She can't touch people. But she could touch us back with the Battle of the Flame Reaver. And again, it's a way Honkai Star Rail does this so well, where they use past events and, reveal them in such an amazing way, so suddenly. And then you go, oh, that's so true. And in this case, that's what we got here. It re-emphasized the moment with Castris back at the Flame Reaver fight. Because now the reason she can touch us is because we don't really have like a soul, a future with us. But she was able to tell that our soul was like wandering in this like random place. And she's going to do everything in her power to find Thantanos to help us. And she's been searching for Thantanos this whole time. And again, what I loved so much about this scene is it was this deep connection that I think the player feels with Casterus. I don't think it's by accident that they want the player to like stare right in the face of Casterus. It's a really beautiful, powerful moment. And also on the same level of that, Casterus like has a trepidation about touching us, and I think it's one of the most emotional parts too about Casterus, the way like she doesn't really know how to touch someone properly because she's worried she might upset us, and that's so sad and so beautiful at the same time too. But it was a magical moment, an incredible moment where she was able to like kind of like gauge some ideas from us. And again, you can tell after that when she's like, I'm gonna find Tantanos. All these people of Amphoreus, where it's fine on my day, all these people have grown to care about us. Casterus, Aglaya, they've grown to care about us in their own way. 110%. 110%. And then Aglaya and Finon basically like said that they, they're worried now that these things are going to happen in pairs. What happened with... Aglaya first of all said it was really done amazingly well. But what happened with... but she also said that like Anaxagoras is also here, technically died, and his soul is dissipating. That's what I think what would have happened to us is what's happening to Anaxagoras maybe. But now there's two people that are here that have cheated death, and it worries Aglaya like greatly, 100%. And of course she's worried as well because he's already made contact with the Council of Elders and all this stuff too, which means that again it could disrupt what's happening here in Amphoreus too. Really, really powerful stuff there as well. Like just from the, I think that, the concern that's been shown from us from Finon and Casterus and all these characters. You can tell that they put a lot of weight in the idea that they led Stelle to this whole situation, but like also at the same time too, like they're looking at someone who technically doesn't have a future right now. But as Casterus said, there is like a chance that we could find this soul before it's wiped away. And that's the tension in this whole story is, who is the mother? What's going to happen now with the Council of Elders and Anaxagoras? How is he going to, and he has 15 days to live, by the way, but how is he going to like come to terms with this? Is he going to join up with the Council of Elders? Is that going to disrupt the Chrysos heirs? What's going to happen with, Stelle and her soul? Is Casterus going to be able to find this Titan as well? And still we have in the back of our mind what happened with March too. We also have like, this idea of like, why did Fuli gaze upon us? Why is Mem truly like an anchor for us? There's so many questions still, but there's like a few answers that are being answered too. It's a really, really powerful section because honestly, like my heart was thumping when they told us that we were already dead, and that, and they did in such an amazing way too. The way Don Hong was like, I didn't think anything of it because like I saved you and then you were okay. Of course you wouldn't think anything of it. You're like, oh, she's grand. But really, really crazy reveal. And again, as I said, what I love most about Honkai Star Rail is that they will have these crazy reveals, and then the character moments are always like the best thing, whether it be Casterus like, desperately trying to like find Tantanos. Even though she searched so long for Tantanos, she's like, I'm going to double my effort for this now as well. Don Hong looking upon us with concern, but trying to keep us strong. It feels like the whole world around us is trying to keep Stelle propped up emotionally, and it's a really, really beautiful thing as well. And we're now playing as Anaxagoras, going to talk to the Council of Elders. I wonder how this is going to go as well, but either way, it's a really incredible reveal. And a really terrifying reveal at the same time too. I adore how this story makes me feel, but also it's a terrifying thing as well. It's really terrifying. It is. Before we go, I want to switch back to Stelle for a second here. Just my next trip with the others. I better go do that. No, I want to go to the Vortex of Genesis, because I do want to read some of these as well. Sometimes we won't have... Wait, what?
All this free time, why not make the most of it with a game?
There's an objective here? I don't want to... Is that what it said? Sorry. Oh, sorry, you can make offerings. Sorry about that. Okay. The long-awaited satisfaction. Thank you, dear. The ambrosia has sobered me up a little. The visage of your reflection is so good-looking that I can't help but stirred up. By the way, as well, Finon saying that we were pretty as well was very, very sweet. It was very, very sweet, wasn't it? I think I'm very pretty too. How long has passed? Oronyx, you move fast. The starry sky sea still hasn't given up. You were also a fool of this. You were also fooled in this banquet. Dance hard then, indulge hard, waste time hard. Little fishies that want to swim to tomorrow. When your banquet ends, the absurdity that you will see when you sober up will be the price of buying inebriation. What are you even saying? Ambrosia. The tide's voice languid once more. Its words fragmented like water splashes. It seems Basin's desire for liquid is insatiable, an ever unquenchable patron of ambrosia. That's pretty cool, right? Oh, wait, I thought we had something we could give. No, oh, we can. A lot, actually. Is that Stelle drunk? No, it's not. 150 J's just for doing nothing, guys. This game's insane.
I'm so parched.
Yeah, so... Oh, there's something new about the Lance of Nicodor. The core flame strife has been returned. Nicodor is the titan of strife and complete competition. According to the mythology of circulation among the Chrysosaurs, they declared war on the gods and cast the world's endless strife. However, battles also took a toll on the god of war as the divine body became corroded by the black tide. Oh, so wait, is this what that was added to? The core flame strife has been returned, I think? Yeah, so that's what they wanted to add to it, 100%. So, what did we read last time? We read Aquila and Gories. I don't think we read these, have we? Did we read these? I don't think so, because there's only a few left. Right? Honestly, I think it's appropriate to read these. But then again, it wouldn't really matter too much, but I think actually, like, I would like to read these. Not because I think they're more important, but because, like, we just had, Oronyx stuff happening, and we just had Yanis stuff happening, right? I think so. Would you guys agree? I think it emphasizes, like, the timing right now. So let's look at Yanis. The Gate of Infinity, Yanis. The core flame of passage has been returned. Yanis is the titan of passage and roads. They know the existence and ends of all paths. Yanis' power can open up doors to all broken mortal worlds, create non-existent paths, and point to unseen directions. Yanis is, so it's like guiding people. Yanis is the god most revered by humanity amid the three fate titans. Compared to the shapeless Talaton and the silent Oronyx, they are more willing to guide humans. That sounds like Tribios, right? They're also the first god that woke from the chaos in the myths. They created roads and connected cities. The passage of that Yanis rules over are not just doors for humans to traverse through, but they're also paths connected to destiny. And again, this relates so much to, like, the idea of Tribios helping people and guiding people and leading them to tomorrow, right? Their own destinies. They reveal fate through prophecies and point the way towards humanity. Again, this is all Tribios was saying, right? Yanis made countless roads as well as countless choices. They guide humans to the correct path so mankind will avoid the destiny of confusion. It is also due to the vow between Yanis and Tantanos that the souls of the dead can be inferred towards the next life and the end of all things. So Tantanos is like, hey, like, we got to work together on this thing. Yeah, this relates so much to what Tribios was saying, right? And what Tribios' goal was. However, per laws created by the Tantalon, blessings come in hand with curses. Very few are aware that the gods of doors is also the god of isolation and imprisonment, which I feel like you could relate to Tribios again. The idea of the shattered soul, the 1,000 pieces, right? That's the way I'd see it anyway. And this is Talaton, right? The god of fate. Or the god of justice, sorry. It's one of the three titans of fate. So the core flame of law has been returned. The Talaton is the titan of law and justice. They rarely appear in the mortal world, physical form, and there is almost no record of them a legend. People often say that they are rules of destiny, the laws of all things, and the divine retribution for violation of such rules and laws. So they're kind of like the ones that are the divine punishment. Tantalon is seen as a manifestation of justice. They uphold the taboos and boundaries of Amphoreus and lay down logic and laws for all things. They created the balance coins to ensure all transactions are equivalent exchange. They maintain the balances world. Any action that would damage these laws will be subject to retribution. Just as a scale that never tilts, all things must be free of excess. If one wishes to obtain, they must first lose. This is like equivalent exchange. They're trying to uphold the ideas of the world, make sure everyone lives by these ideas and these ideals. If one wishes to obtain, they must first lose. If you wish to receive a benediction of this titan, you must pay the cost. Some people even end up being transformed to terrifying monsters. For this reason, the gods often view them as the mediator of strife when dispute between the titans cannot be resolved. Only the judgment is able to satisfy their kin. So their own titans respect their judgment, it seems like, or did. Talaton has bound Amphoreus with strict laws, and themselves with an equally strict vow to never allow for favoritism or injustice. They and their disciples act according to this vow, sentencing those who break their vows or violate boundaries to punishment, even if the subject of this judgment is another titan. So yeah, they even punish other titans. Yeah. So they are the god of justice. They're the ones that kind of uphold the laws of Amphoreus and make sure they're upheld, and also they keep the titans in check as well, which is a really good thing, right? At least they did. And Oronyx, of course, are very... We just got Oronyx's... Oronyx is one, right? We just got Oronyx's core flame. The core flame of time has been returned. Oronyx is the titan of time and night. Before the first dawn created by Aquila, the world was caged by the purest darkness. When the borders in day and night were separated, the young Oronyx jolted awake from the newborn concept of time. Heading towards the outer reaches of Amphoreus alone, there they materialized as the Evernight Veil, and henceforth remained afar from humanity, quietly spending their time managing the fabric of time. So when night and day were separated, they woke up and they went to the outer reaches and basically started managing the fabric of time. In the myths told by the Chrysos eras, Oronyx is the most secretive titan akin to the bottomless darkness itself. Artists are thus entranced by the titan because the scintillating dots of the light in the night sky can awaken one's deep desire to understand the unknown. As the titans win mastery over time, Oronyx supports all past, present, and future of this world, allowing for circulation of all things. They also collect many eroded memories to prevent them from being forgotten. So they support the past, present, and future. People are scintillated by them because they're so unknown, and like it's a desire to understand the unknown. Oronyx's priests can evoke incredible miracles with their secret rituals capable of bringing in the past to a very present. And they also gain the oracles of the future from their titan through the echoes of the Evernight Veil. So they also can like see the future in some way, or like at least like prophecies of the future. But this all lines up too with the powers that we have, with the powers that we have as well, right? This lines up perfectly, because we, as users of Oronyx, we also have a power to go to trap things in the past or go to the future. Mem has that power 100% as well, right? The idea of the past and the present and the future, it's there 100%. And I love one of the things that we've about the Titan stuff is that we see the stuff about the Titans and then we see it emphasized in our world, whether it be the stuff with Tribios and their messaging is so related to the stuff with we see the stuff with like say Yanis, where Yanis is a Titan related to Tribios, and you can see it impacting the values of Tribios. We see the stuff that we use with Oronyx, and we can see exactly the power that they have, and we've utilized some of those powers too. Like there's a direct relation to the actual usage of that in the real world, and it's really cool as well. It's a really cool way of doing this. This episode was fantastic. It really was such a fun time for me, and actually a scary time for me. I think that the reveal was absolutely incredible. I love that we're going to get to play as Anaxagoras. I love like political dealings and backdoor shady deals. We're going to see what happens with that as well.
Will you be joining us? Then it's settled.
All of this was like really well emphasized and really well done. I think they have like a really good way in this game, as I said, of like kind of like emphasizing every emotion, and whether it be facial expressions, voice acting, every single moment is really elevated just by like those particular scenes where you're like, what? Okay, so this is what everyone feels in this moment. Even if they don't say that's how they feel, we can like feel the love of a character. We can feel like the one character's in pain, one character's nervous. Like in these conversations, you could tell Don Hung was worried for us, just as we could tell the casters was frantically trying to like sort this out. We can tell Aglaia is trying to be very strong for us as always. It's a really good way of doing this. They're really good at doing this through, again, voice acting, facial expressions sometimes, and even like, you know, a knowledge of the characters as well. It's really every scene is so powerful because the characters are so strong and the way they portray them is so strong. Guys, thank you for watching this episode. If you want to see this episode early, this episode came out on Wednesday. You can see the episode early, but next week videos are usually earlier as well. It's like one of those things where I've always said this, Roma Reacts week videos will be like like a day later than they usually would be early, but they'll still be early. But like non-Roman Reacts week, they are early because of course Roman Reacts is an 8-hour thing. But I want to thank you all for watching. You can get the early videos for €1 or $1.50 on Patreon or YouTube members. You can also get your name read as seen in the credits here that's scrolling across the screen right now. Or that's for €10 or €12 or $12. Or you can get your name read out by me as the shout out for the €15 or $17 one. Ty Fire 02, Jamie Bull, Jana the Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Felicious Felix, Yuled, Anusta, Assassin, True Peanut Butter, Peter Shelson, Leon, High Kasperian, Jared Beanham, Neil Shourite, and at the highest tier of my YouTube, RoyalGamer7, Blasco, and Lusanagi. See you guys very soon. Bye-bye.